When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. No Friday's a bad Friday.
God, I'm freaking exhausted from walking around. Holy hell. Freaking kids took a trip for like 3.5 hours.
Man, I used to love, I have videos, I found a video of Jameson years ago.
Fantastic.
Where, no, but,
Dressed up as Elmo.
but you can tell, like, he's 8 years younger than Jordan, 10 years younger than Jackson. And it's like a whole different generation because his entire life, people were talking into their phones. So I turned the phone on him, and you had to be 4 or 5. And this lady, he goes up and she goes, take 2 handfuls like this. He goes, all right, guys, hope you're having a great Halloween. Be sure to say hi to everybody and have it. Like
you were live streaming your trick or treat.
Like, yeah, it was unbelievable. He didn't miss a beat. And I never said to you, you're talking, hey guys, I hope you had a great Halloween. Got a lot of candy. You remember this, Jameson?
Are you gonna play it?
I just thought of it now, so no, I don't have it on my phone.
I just steal mom's phone and act like I was recording YouTube videos and be like, hey,
Oh my God! Yes.
welcome back to the whatever.
Hey, Twitterverse.
Yeah.
Both my kids take my phone and try to make YouTube videos. You
better hide that one package of videos and pictures you got there.
I got into a fight with Lucas the other day
Mom, what
because
are
he
dick
really
pics?
thinks that he should have a phone and a TV in his bedroom. I'm like, you are 9. You're not.
Okay, so with our guys, older
Brady
guys,
got a TV in his room this year. He's 10, but it was more because I was just tired of listening to him play freaking Fortnite.
it's hard because the youngest, right? But
I'm just tired of listening to play Fortnite.
Yeah. So
I want to watch the
Play video
TV.
games.
See, they have I have a bonus room.
Yes.
And they can watch TV
I'm-
up there.
I'm with
and that's
you.
where they play their video games.
I would like there to be. I did let Jameson have a TV, but I wish there was no electronics.
Yeah.
I think you should sleep.
Yep.
And whatever else you do in there.
Yeah.
I fell asleep with my phone today and woke up earlier than I have at all this school year. So
Yeah, but I take your phone away from you.
yeah,
usually,
exactly.
but-
And I
Yeah.
don't wake up as early.
Well, okay.
Just saying.
But 13, and then he was stealing their phones and stuff, and stealing all their stuff that by like 10 or 9. I think at 9, I think
Jackson used to steep. I literally had it on video in Pittsford. I was trying to record the Elf on the Shelf move on my orange laptop. Jackson,
Wait,
came
what do you mean
downstairs
the Elf
and
on the
stole
Shelf
it.
moves?
I don't know. Anyway.
And he tried to take. He used
Yes,
to, he
but
used to
you
take
used
my
to
stuff.
steal. You used to steal it, so we wound up letting you have a phone at 9. And
my God.
Jordan,
It was earlier
Jordan
than that.
flipped his lid. It's not fair. I had to wait till I was 13.
Oh, yeah.
So pissed off.
Suck it up. Okay.
Yeah, so pissed off.
There's a book I just purchased that is talking about how bad it is for kids to have phones. and-
Oh, big thing on Good Morning America this
Yeah.
morning, the screen time stuff. I didn't stick around because it was on after 8 o'clock, and I usually go to something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is bad. What book?
It's called The Anxious Generation. And I
Yeah.
heard about it from our school's principal, who I'm
Yeah.
friends with. And she's like, read it. Like, you'll never want the kids to have a phone. I mean,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah, I think it fucks up our brain.
Yeah.
I do. I think that it makes you
Absolutely.
dependent on too much stuff. And
The doom
but please
scrolling
subscribe to my
and-
podcast and watch it.
Well, you can listen. You
No.
can listen.
Well, I
yeah.
think listening that was really my intention with the podcast.
Yeah.
Video podcasts and the stuff has become
But you
prevalent. so
can't
you kinda-
you can't say that if the people watching, are
I
watching
mean, they
off
watch
their
for your
phones.
dad's good looks, obviously.
Oh yeah, I'm so handsome. What's that? What did you just say? What did you say? What did you say?
Nothing.
So good looking. People want you in pictures.
I
I
said
know.
Riz. It was corny. It was a joke. I was trying to sound lame.
What did you say?
Riz.
I got Riz.
That's a joke. No,
Yeah.
you don't.
What the hell's Riz?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
Tell her what
You'll
Riz
figure
is.
it out.
No,
What's
tell her what
Riz?
Riz is.
It's short for charisma. And it's like Game with Girls.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. No, I know it. Charisma.
oh my God, that guy's got W-res. He
You
just
don't
spoke
think-
to a girl.
you don't
he just
think-
breathed around a girl.
Hang on,
That's W-res.
hang on. You don't think that I have Riz?
No, you're a grown man talking
Oh,
about.
no.
Hold on, you don't think I have res right now, dude? I'm literally rezzing up all the girls I walk past. I just breathed next to a girl. That's freaking res, dude.
You're
Like,
full of
like
jizz.
that's res. Like, yeah.
Your dad has charisma.
Ah, look at that.
I mean,
yeah, to be on live talking about I've got res and you're 53. That's charisma right there. Take some balls.
What to say
Dad,
that?
do you know how much you're going to age this next year with him living?
I
with
don't.
you now?
I
You
don't.
might
I,
get younger.
I
You're
think
gonna
I
get
am.
younger?
I think I am gonna get.
I have
younger.
video of him dancing
talking
to
a lot of shit
Rochester
for
Rabbit
someone.
on FaceTime.
That's what I.
Talking a lot of shit over here for someone who just bought him dinner.
I know the kid talks mad shit all the time,
Mad shit.
but I.
Yo, dude, you're talking mad shit right
but
now.
I find it. But see, the bad part with me is I laugh
into
at
it.
it and I play into it, and I got to draw stronger boundaries. I'm aware of that.
Like when we're playing basketball, he'll start talking mess, and as soon as I start beating him, like I'm coming up the right side of the court, and I go, "This is all I do." Boom, boom, and he goes like this, like the Jumpman logo, and just jumps the other way.
It's bad. It's bad. I will admit. Look, I have
And then
said.
he'll be like this. Look. He'll be coming up the court. I'm like, "Oh, you're a scrub." He'll be like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." Hold on, watch this. And missed the ball. That's exactly how he sounds.
All right. Well, hang on a second. I didn't want. Let's not go down this path on the
You
podcast.
probably
We-
went like 0.5 from the field goal.
Okay. All right. I have said many times in this podcast that I love the game of basketball, but I never really played in an organized setting because I had never gotten cut. And I from anything. I went out, I made it. I was on a
I
varsity
thought you
team.
got
in-
cut from the soccer team.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
No.
What
I didn't get what?
Mom was saying you were tackling people, and
I got in trouble
oh,
because I didn't know how to play, so I just ran through people. I got punched in the face, and I loved it. I liked it even more. But no, I did not get cut. There was never a sport that I got cut. And in 8th grade, I was on varsity for sports because you had to take it's not that hard. You had to take a New York State test. You had to do so many sit-ups in a minute and all this other stuff.
Oh, that's but
And so I did it. Me and this other kid did it, and I was on. So I couldn't handle it if I got caught.
this kid Marco, I'm pretty sure he's on freshman JV and varsity. He's a long snap for varsity for the high school. Mind you, he just became a freshman. He's been on varsity since like maybe the 7th or 8th grade.
There's some people who are just amazing athletes.
He's backup QB for the varsity. He's
All
a
right.
QB for JV and freshman, I think.
Okay. I wanted to ask Laura a couple different questions
And he wrestles.
when it came to getting inside the mind of a woman.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these would be
Riz.
things that,
Gross. Sorry.
things that women want men to know,
Mhm.
or men should know instinctively, but don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Is it Pops?
no, it's your brother.
Pick it up and see what he has to say online.
I can't because I know what he's going to say.
What's he gonna
I can't. Do-
Dad.
Oh, stop. Your brother. This is going to be my fucking life now. I'm trying to do a
I just
podcast.
said you're going to age.
I'm trying to do a podcast. Jordan hurt himself. He fractured his shoulder.
Oh, shit.
They did an MRI today. His shoulder is screwed up. He's probably going to need surgery.
Dang.
Okay. So that could prevent him from coming to Thanksgiving. And I don't know about Christmas. And
Does
all
his
kinds-
girlfriend still come to Thanksgiving if he doesn't come?
Easy
That's March.
replacement.
And so there's
He's the
a
middle
lot
child.
going on,
That's
and
a
I
replacement.
will deal with that later. But none of this stuff needs to be on the podcast at the moment. Is your Chinese ready? I think it is.
Oh, you're just trying to get rid of me. Huh?
Yes, confidence.
Wow. Throw it out there.
Yeah, it's my Riz.
Keep it-
Confidence.
Riz with a 14-year-old boy and you're 53. Yeah.
All
that's
right,
Great
will
thing
you
to say
stop?
live for the police right there.
Turn on. Okay, confidence
Yes.
versus cockiness.
Yes.
Okay, what?
I have said this in the past.
Okay, because there's cocky.
Yeah.
And then there's confident.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line.
Mhm.
But some guys think they're confident, but they come off as
Cocky.
cocky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that line. I always just think, I just always think that the confidence is just sort of that quiet. You just
The
know.
quiet
You just-
confidence.
yes, you
The
just know.
cockiness is the gloating.
Yes.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yes. It is.
Yeah. When a man thinks that he's better than another person for any reason, like you're
Kevin.
not. Yeah, you're not
I was
the
gonna say.
greatest.
I had one in my mind. but
Who
I'm not
was it?
gonna do- I'm not.
Say it. Say it.
Yeah,
Say
you
it.
know exactly what it is.
You.
Who?
No, it's not me.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know
We're
exactly
playing
who it
basketball.
is.
It's you.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
watch this.
Okay.
Watch this right
All
here.
right, back off for a
But,
minute
like,
here.
Pete Maravich.
If you have confidence, a not that great looking guy,
Yeah.
could be so much more attractive.
Let me tell you.
This guy right
That's
here.
how it works.
Hello, ladies.
With that
Hello, ladies.
Riz.
Hello, ladies. It's the confidence all right here.
But like then if you're cocky, a really good looking guy could,
Lose points.
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be like
Right here.
disgusting. I just saw your ass.
What?
It's good thing the cops are right there.
Oh my God.
No, I don't want bare ass.
What is going on? I've lost total control of whatever
All
is
right.
happening. in this room.
Anyways,
I
go get your
apologize.
dumplings.
He's confident you liked his ass.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Turns around, he's gonna show you.
I don't
he's
go
gonna-
that young, guy.
Turn around, he's gonna show you his cocky too.
Well, all right. Why? And there's a word. Okay. So the difference, I think we all kind of know the difference between cocky and, but there used to be girls were attracted to sort of that bad boy. And I think that there are still some women that are attracted to that.
I liked the bad boy energy, but like there's a difference. Like that cockiness, there could be like you could take anyone, and if they're cocky, it just takes them. They're
Yes.
downgraded. Like I don't know. That is not going to be my type of person. Dumplings,
Wontons.
wontons, whatever.
Well, Stephanie's friend was in here, and she was saying that she's recently divorced, and she's in the bad boy phase right now too.
Yes. Right.
But I think
But you can be a bad boy and confident in your bad boy, silent type,
like,
without being
yeah,
cocky.
like-
Cocky's usually flashy, looking for attention.
yes.
Look at me. I know what you were going to say.
You mean like your son over here?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's just showing off. That's
But,
14. I don't know if that's cocky. I maybe.
I also think there's like a thing of if you add into this masculinity, like, having that masculine energy and being confident, not cocky, can still work.
Talk to me about toxic masculinity, which I hear a lot, and I think is a problem. I'll tell you what I'm starting to believe, and I think more maybe because Jameson's back in my life as a more everyday present. I think that a lost thing that we don't really focus on is young men.
Mhm.
I think that young men, like there is that, we hear about toxic masculinity, but I think that women like a man. I think there's a fine line. I think there's times where you don't want to be sexist or misogynistic, and there's ways to do that. But I do think like the masculine energy, as you're saying, is what many women are attracted to.
Yeah.
You want a guy,
But a lot of that
to-
also mirrors the father too.
yeah.
Like you're gonna have that same kind of energy as your father had.
Well, let me
for the
ask you.
most part.
Here's a question I have. Did your dad tell you he loved you when you were little? Do you remember that?
I don't think so.
Okay, no, and I think that that's probably the answer. Most guys your age, my age, my dad did, but not frequently. I think I tell these guys all the time. So have we evolved? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But are we? But I feel like we lose a little bit of our edge. I think like they don't know how to act. They don't know how to be, and that was one of the reasons I was such a fan of his brother going to McQuaid, because it was all guys.
Yep.
And there was something about that they handled things differently
Mhm.
than you would in a co-ed school. And you could say good or bad. Well, okay, I guess it's open to interpretation. I just think sometimes we're not teaching young men how to do it. We're trying to take these kids, we're telling them not to. I mean, you got a lot of energy. Little boy, little boys
God.
have a lot of energy, and they need to burn that off. They need to be tired. They need to be wrestling. They
Yep.
need to be doing this shit, and we don't allow them to. And we want them to sit in desks and for 6 hours a day or whatever it is, and pay attention and be. And we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole sometimes. And I really think that sort of becomes a problem. And you've got this generation of guys who have no idea what the fuck to do.
I don't think standard education is right for every child.
I
at
agree with
all.
you. I think that's
but
true.
that's New York State standards. Like,
Yeah, but I think it's right, and I think it's pretty much everywhere around
Yeah.
the country. I don't know. I didn't mean to go off on this. It
No,
just
I
popped
like
into
it.
my head as you're saying it, and I'm going. I really feel like more and more. I'm not saying you got to be the big macho. I'm gonna. You're not a house ape. That's
Well,
not what I'm saying. But there
definitely-
is some masculinity, and you got to have a little balls about you.
Gender roles have also switched so much in terms of like graduating college and graduating high school. Now women are graduating at a higher rate than
Yes.
men are.
Yes.
And women are starting more businesses and
Yes.
stuff like that. And then-
Congratulations, you did, and
Yeah,
apparently
like-
it's going so well. You bought $700
Yeah.
seats on that. Like,
but I mean, I hate if a man is ever intimidated by a woman's success.
well, see
too,
that I think is
like-
weak. That's weak in the guy.
that's
I
not
really do.
masculine.
And I can tell you that at one point in my life, I think I was. But when I first got married, I think my wife certainly made more than
Yeah.
me. Maybe double what I made.
yeah, I think Joe felt like a little intimidated at first, but then he's like, "But
I've
you're
gotten to the
great."
point where
Like,
fuck it, I don't care.
yeah.
I mean,
so,
I've had it all, lost it all, had it more,
Yeah.
lost it again. It's like-
but it's also like it's so hard, and like I want that masculine energy. but,
Yes.
like someone who's comforting and
Evolve.
that they're gonna be a guy, but not like a cocky asshole.
right.
I mean, if you're playing sports and if he like when he's playing basketball and he's talking shit, like I think that's fun. Like I like that, but that's not like cocky personality. That's just
Yeah, that's just in the moment.
cocky on the field.
What's that,
Those
Jameson?
are Riz.
Yeah.
Until you airball.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. How come women will say they're fine when they're clearly not?
Oh God, I hate
And
that.
and it has
Because
become,
they're idiotic.
but fine is a word I have come to hate.
Yeah.
And
I'm fine.
when I hear fine, and if anybody says to me, this is, how was it? Fine. I always go, doesn't mean it's that good.
Yeah.
I find fine to be more negative than positive.
I say fine about like sometimes a day. Like, how was your day? It was fine.
Well,
Like,
and I
if,
know it
you
was
know,
like, eh.
yeah, it was like, But like, if you are sort of, there's tension between you as a couple and you ask your partner, like, are you okay? And they say, I'm fine. That's just, you don't have good communication.
I think that seems to be a younger woman thing lately.
You think?
I don't know. I mean, not that I'm around a lot of women, but I would say that any women I know, they seem to be more. What the fuck? Go ahead. What are you doing?
That's no risk because you're not around women. I'm gonna guess that's what you're.
What are you going to say?
I know all about women.
I
Even though I'm not around them a lot. I promise.
you go eat your wonton.
Yeah,
Leave me
eat your
be.
food.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
No, but I'm saying, like, I think that fine has become a word, but I think that most older people, especially people who've been in, let's say you got a little water under the bridge of relationships,
Mhm.
that you know how to communicate. You knew what worked and what didn't work, and so maybe you don't say fine as much.
I also think that there's dating someone. I think it's very important to discuss your communication behavior and how you fight. If I'm in a fight with someone, if I'm fighting with Joe, which has happened, I just want to be left alone and chill. Like I just sort of need to calm down. I need to decompress. Like, so if you're pestering me, I'll be like, I'm fine. Like, 'cause I just, but I've told him, I'm like, just let me go.
Let me
and
go
I'll
get one of my
get over it.
toys. And I'll be
Like-
back in 20 minutes.
Yes, Jameson, what do you want to add to
But
this?
when it comes to it, like who says sorry? Like let's say he's in the wrong, but he doesn't know he's in the wrong. You can't say sorry, and then he's gonna feel like
But even
Oh,
if
she's
it,
still mad.
sometimes even if you admit that you're in the wrong, I'm still going to be upset about that action. I'll accept your apology, but I still just need my time to calm down. Like that's just how I am. I
no,
need
but
to-
you're upfront about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not mad, but please just let me have some
I saw
space.
some silly rom-com thing where chick was with a guy, parents loved the guy. She's like, everything was great. We never fought. And that was a problem.
Mhm. Because I don't think you challenge each other enough then.
Yeah.
Not like I pick fights, but we have different opinions. Like if you're with someone who has the exact same opinions as you, likes to do everything that you want to do, like where's your individuality?
Yes. Jameson, go
I
ahead.
feel like my generation's so messed up. And even like people like a few years older than me, if let's say they were in a relationship and they got into a fight, the girl's gonna go try to get back and get with another dude or something like that.
Well, that's immaturity.
And that would be young, right?
Mhm.
That's what young people will do, not work it out. And you're right. It's a bad thing where I think there's a movie. Is it the Thomas Crown Affair with Dennis Leary? And Dennis Leary's like the cop, and he got divorced, and he's like, yeah, I went out and I got drunk and I slept with 3 women that night or whatever. And he's like, and I have nothing to show for it. It was awful. But that's how a lot of guys get over
I
things.
feel like I
But,
saw the movie Thomas Crown Affair, but that does not.
you didn't pay attention close enough. But I like Dennis. All right. Let me see one last one for you. Beyond the cool girl myth, why women are done pretending? Because there's a lot of cultural pressure, I think, on women to try to fit in, to do this, to do that, and maybe wear things. It seems like
I think it's all because you think it's
starting to
dissipate.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I think people have realized how fake social media is.
Mm.
I think that there's more influencers now who call out other influencers on their editing of their bodies and putting out unrealistic things, and it just I think people are accepting of more individuality. And if you think about the fashion models back in the day,
right?
Kate Moss,
Yeah.
like anorexic thin,
Right.
and now you think about a lot of
It is funny how
curves
beauty,
are in. Like,
beauty's changed.
Yeah, it's
I think
just
even
like
Jameson was saying that to me, or somebody was yesterday. Like the Kardashians are not your waif model.
No,
Right.
but like even there are like everyday people who are out there that are just showing like, yes, I'm being strong as a woman. Like, that's more.
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Here's where I have a
All
problem,
right.
and then we'll wrap it up. If this goes away from the women thing, are we too accepting to some degree, to the point of people have unhealthy habits and we're not calling them on it? You know what I'm saying? This is my body. Accept me for the way I am. Well, you're out of shape. You're fat. You're going to be a drain on the healthcare system at some point. Stop eating this shit. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hate when people use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying we should be making fun of someone.
Yeah.
That I feel like is the greater thing. And yet I'm very guilty of that. I mean, if I'm sitting with a bunch of guys, I'll pick on, I don't care what gender, if something's funny. But at the same time, I go, all this acceptance, sometimes we're accepting unhealthy stuff.
Mhm.
And what happened to a little bit of shame that can bring you back just a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I think
like you and all your buddies go to Burn and work your asses off.
Well, but if Burn is also like, if a larger female or male comes in and wants to try it out, I'm not going to like critique them. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to be
welcoming,
so welcoming. And I tell everybody who tries it out, and I'll tell you the day that you come in and actually show face there with Randy, Jamie, and I, I'll say, look, you're struggling right now. You're supposed to struggle every day. I've been there every single day for 6 years. I still struggle every day. Like,
that's what you're going to say to me if I go?
Yeah.
I went to a spin class today. Did an hour.
Congratulations.
Yes, I did an hour.
Where?
At the Y.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want to come back to Embody and do some yoga with me this month?
Do I want to go back to Embody? I love Embody and I love Molly.
Yeah.
And yoga is very embarrassing for me because I think I'm almost a statue. I'm so stiff.
So she asked me to be an ambassador for them this month for their yoga month.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of yoga in November.
It's great.
Yeah.
Really good for you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a moment. Little shame. And we'll do a theme.
Watch your sugar.
Yeah, watch your sugar as I just devoured
down
it.
some sugar.
Yeah.
It's fake sugar.
Whatever. I'm gonna eat a bite of Jameson, whatever
yes,
you brought after
you are.
eating my cookies.
You are gonna do that. We're gonna and we'll do theme that tune right after this.
Report.
Do you know it?
No, but I'm gonna guess John Mayer.
No. Oh, I'm so proud right now.
Baby, here I am again,
Oh, Kenny.
Yeah.
kicking dust in the canyon, waiting for that sun to go down.
You know the song.
Is it Kenny Chesney?
Headed up
It is Kenny Chesney.
Mulholland
I think
Drive,
they announced either him or Keith
hell
Urban for
bent
your
on
Wildwood
getting high.
Beach.
Keith Urban was last year, so
Somebody announced I saw.
we have Lainey Wilson.
You going back?
Yeah, we already have that booked.
Tequila make me crazy.
That's right.
I gotta think of who else. Brooks and Dunn is like the opener.
I'll put you toward the good hotel there. There's
It's one of my favorites sings on this song with him.
One more night could kill me, baby.
Grace Potter. I
Oh.
love Grace Potter.
One too many.
All right. Kevin's got a theme that tune, and he told me that this is I think he's calling it legendary.
I didn't say legendary, so the song is going to be a little tougher,
Okay.
Oh Jesus!
but the theme, I stand by it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Theme that tune. I'm nervous.
The way you're bathed in light reminds me of that night God laid me down into your rose garden of trust.
First Pister's favorite song by this band.
Swept away.
Not really.
Nothing
He hates
left
this
to say.
Sounds like a song off of
Some
Broadway.
helpless fool, yet I
It's not.
was lost.
The voice is very sustainable.
You're all I need to find. So when the time is
Might get more when it kicks
right,
into the hook.
come to me sweetly, come
I don't know. I wrote
to
down a band, but I think it's wrong.
me, come to me. Never leave us, all right. Never leave us, say when
Yeah, baby. How you doing? Slow jam for you.
Oh. I know it.
Pull your lady close.
Show her how cocky you can be, baby.
Can't remember why we fell apart from something that was.
Oh.
Kevin knows. Kevin, like, I can't. I'm not even close.
When I step on the scene, y'all know me. Cause I walk with a limp like a old school pimp or a real OG. I'm rocking Vans, I'm in the sand. I got a Red Bull and vodka up in my hand. Hey, you looking kinda cute. Hey. In that polka dot bikini, girl. Hey, this what I wanna do.
Yeah.
Take off that polka dot bikini, girl. Drink all day. Play.
What do we get for $10?
Oh.
Everything you want. Everything. Everything. Oh.
Don't do that, baby.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. I love you long time. Oh. So horny.
This is Laura's ringtone. So when she gets her the call for the Freak Fest in South Florida or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
She's gotta have a sex theme to it.
I'm doing so bad at these though.
Me too.
That might legitimately be the furthest thing from the theme as possible. This is another song I forgot about for years.
I know it and I don't know
You'll
it.
know in a second.
Bad boys. You make me feel
worldwide to infinity. You know the roof on fire. We gon' boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire. We go drink drinks and take shots until we fall out like the roof on fire. Now, baby, get my booty naked, take off all your clothes and light the roof on fire. Tell her, baby, 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 I'm on fire. I tell her, baby, 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 I'm a fireball.
Suck. Oh.
Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. Give a little bit.
Sing along to them, but I
Give a
don't know.
little bit of my
You don't know?
to you.
Yes. I think I scored 2 points on that one. Yes, finally. That's all I got.
Why don't you sit right back and I may tell
You know this one, too.
A tale of 3 little pigs and a big
Bad. Whoa.
I got like 2 points.
Well, first little piggy, while he was kind of hippie, spent most of his days just dreaming on the city. And then one day, he bought a guitar. He moved to Hollywood to become a star. But living on the farm, he knew nothing of the city. Built his house out of straw, what a pity. Then one day, jamming on some
I gotta let this go to the hook. I got to.
knocking on his door. Little pig, let me in.
Not for the hair of my chin.
Little pig, let me in.
Back to the top, or are you still thinking over there?
There, number 2. I keep saying it. No.
We'll go back to the top.
The way you're bathed in light reminds me of that night.
You said you wrote down a band. What'd you write down?
I originally wrote down Creed. I crossed it out, and I wrote down Seven Dust.
Neither Creed nor Seven Dust.
Creed is a good guess. I wrote down Puddle of Mud.
It's not Puddle of Mud. It's live.
Oh, God.
The
yes.
Dolphins cry.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense live.
This song, I know it, but I can't.
Yeah, I don't think I had it.
It's Anytime by Brian McKnight.
Oh, I would never have gotten to that.
LMFAO.
Yup.
But I don't know the song.
I just wrote down Bikini.
It's I'm in Miami, bitch.
Well, I got 1 point.
Where'd you get? All right, I got 1 point.
That's my first point.
Okay, me too.
Everything you want.
I just said me so horny, but I don't even know.
Yeah.
It is me so
Yep,
horny.
me
That's
too.
all I know.
2 Live Crew.
Oh, yeah. Bad Boys
It is Bad Boy.
or Bad Boy? Bad Boy. I said, I know it's not her, but I wrote Paul Abdul.
Me too.
Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine.
You wrote Paul
I wrote
Abdul?
down Paula as
I
well.
just wrote down Paul.
Bull should have got this one.
Yeah, Pitbull.
Fireball.
Yes.
Yes, Fireball. That's what I wrote. Originally done by Supertramp. This is Give a Little Bit by the Goo Goo Dolls.
For 2?
Yes, for 2.
Give a little bit. I knew it was that song. I should have read.
And I don't
I
know.
did write it.
I've said American Idiots, 3 Little Pigs.
It's 3 Little Pigs.
I wrote Weird Al Yankovic.
I would have given you green jelly or green jello.
Yes. Okay.
Any thoughts on a theme for tonight?
Weird ass songs.
When I tell you the theme, and I explain to you each song, you're gonna be like, ah.
I gotta say, are they all covers? No.
They are not all covers.
Okay, I don't know.
Songs inspired by the Bills and Dolphins this week. The Dolphins Cry,
Oh.
Brian McKnight from Buffalo.
Yep.
I'm in Miami, Bitch by
Yeah,
LMFAO.
yeah.
Me So Horny, Two Live Crew from Miami. Miami Sound Machine, Bad Boy.
Look at this.
Mr. Worldwide
this.
Fireball.
Yeah, Miami.
Goo Goo Dolls from Buffalo.
Yeah.
And Green Jelly, originally from
Oh,
Buffalo.
I didn't know Green Jelly was
I did
Buffalo.
not either until today.
That's very good, though. Good theme.
Yeah.
Good theme.
Whenever you thought it was sex.
I did because of Me So Horny.
Like I said, it's about the
Oh,
furthest
Me
it
So
could have
Horny.
been.
And then the LMFAO with the bikini.
Yeah, that's true.
And I did see today, speaking of, there was something that said Me So Horny, and it was a 107-year-old woman. And yeah, with the horn. Did you see it?
I did.
What is it? It's, I feel like it's like your nails or something.
I don't know.
And it was
It
growing
was
out of her
probably
forehead.
like cartilage. I don't know. I saw it, but I didn't really pay attention
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, she had a horn.
Yeah.
It grew out of her head. She's 107. At 107, I guess it doesn't matter. That's it. Nice job, Kevin. Good one. Speaking of Bills in Miami, Greg Connors will be joining us right after this.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them
I love that line. I don't know why. I just love that line. Call Michelle Pfeiffer white gold. I go, God damn, you're right. You're a poet, Bruno. You're a poet.
I'm too hot. Hot damn. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too
The Buffalo Bills. I have a question because Greg Connors, future owner of the Buffalo Bills, is going to join us. Are there too many bandwagon fans nowadays of the Bills? I'm just asking. I don't know. Too many bandwagon fans.
I don't really think it's changed that much.
The Allen era. Well, that's a good point because they've
always traveled well, and they've always had presence. When we went to Denver for my sister-in-law's wedding, we went to a Bills bar.
But I feel like the media is giving them more attention than they ever have, and still,
I think it's
at
Josh.
less.
I mean,
but
Josh,
it is Josh.
He was at the World Series last night.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
He was at Game 4. Yeah. He was
It was a
out
good
in
game
right
for him to
field
be
catching balls.
With more on all that is our good friend Greg. Greg, where are you?
Man cave.
Oh, you're in the man cave. Okay, hang on one second here.
In the man cave.
I at first didn't recognize it. I thought you were. It looked like he was standing in a mall somewhere. It did. It looks very. There it is.
Right
There's
outside-
the
right
man
outside
cave. I
BTB.
recognize that. Yeah.
Don't let me in.
No, I didn't know where he was exactly.
I'm not going in. Hillman's in there.
Yes. So look, we're coming up on the trade deadline next week. And there have been still some interesting rumors involving the Buffalo Bills as possible landing spots for, I'm going to say, marquee name players.
It's a destination. I mean, look what's happening. The teams that aren't really in it anymore are trying to get value for some big contracts, people at the end of their contracts. And some of these guys want to win a Super Bowl. And the Bills are perfectly positioned. I didn't think the Bills were going to be 6-2 at this point in time. I thought if they were going to be 5-3, that would be fantastic. I thought perhaps maybe even 4-4. So the Bills right now, coming into this Dolphins game in Buffalo in the friendly confines of Highmark Stadium, where the Bills Mafia is going to be in full force going crazy, they're sitting. This is a position we want to be in. That's for sure.
I don't buy Buffalo, unfortunately, Greg, as a destination. I mean, I still think a lot of and it's not just the Bills, it's the Sabres. They have a really hard time getting those marquee free agents to come in. They typically have to overpay because there's just, would you rather go to New York, play for the Giants or Jets, where you've got New York City, or the Rams or Chargers, or would you rather go to Buffalo, where you've got nothing going on?
I feel like Buffalo is getting those marquee names on Miller and Amari
they're
Cooper.
overpaying for.
They paid over. Maybe they overpaid
traded
for him.
Mario. They overpaid for Mario Williams. They overpaid for Vaughn. I mean, I get it. They have to because there's just nothing. Who wants to go to Buffalo?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
Same thing with Green Bay. Who wants to go to Green Bay?
I'm not sure anymore.
They paid what they paid for Vaughn because that's what the Bills needed. That was what they needed to get over the hump, is what Beane and McDermott thought, to get over the hump against the Chiefs. They needed to have that guy on the team because Jerry Hughes wasn't him, right? We thought he was that guy. In that 13 seconds, Hughes did not make a play. We had to get somebody to make a play. They went after it. You pay for what you need, and that's what they did. In terms of destination points, look, you tell me one person who's in the NFL whose team is crap right now, who doesn't have a chance for the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl, and they can get an opportunity to come and play for the Bills with Brett, and you've got Josh Allen, and you've got a defense that is playing above perhaps where their pay grade is right now, and you can come in and make a difference. Heck yeah, I'm there. Give me that chance. Oh, and by the way, I will be the most beloved player of the Bills Mafia in their history. Are you kidding me? I'm all in.
Sounds like a future owner to me.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's a great sales job, and that's true. But I do think, and only because I think that the world has shrunk today, and these guys are so rich that if they want to jump on a private jet and book it for after the game, that they could take off. And I know what you're saying because I remember Marcellus Wiley saying at a 1:00 game your adrenaline would be so up that you couldn't even be calmed down by 11 o'clock at night. Now, just think about that. I've never had an experience like that. I mean, the closest I came was drag racing, right? I that adrenaline was kicking, but certainly not to that level. I went to bed.
And you don't want to end up.
know, man.
You don't want to end up at Chippewa because you're going to end up in trouble.
Well,
I mean, look at
I
everybody on
understand.
Chippewa. You had Patrick Kane
I don't
punching
know.
taxi
I've
cab
had it.
drivers there.
Kev, look, man, I've had that level of adrenaline after the podcast was here. I'm so,
Yes, I love you.
Go to sleep.
I had to go get some TKs.
But you know what I mean, Greg? Like so what he would say is they would go to Toronto because they could gamble and they could do that. And I think that's what Kevin's saying is that there's more attractive cities. But I'm wondering if the world had shrunk in a sense that the salaries that these guys are making, they could do anything. And most of them are pretty disciplined nowadays during the season anyway.
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't making that. I mean, how many guys on the team are making that big Josh Allen,
Well,
Von Miller money?
They're
versus
not, but I'm thinking
how many guys are like Joe
but-
Anderson, who's
but if-
making $50 a game?
But if you knew somebody who was making $1.5 million, that was a buddy of yours. That's
You know what-
750,000.
yeah, right.
$50 a game. What do you think this is? The Hornell Red Raiders League down there? Come on, man. This is the NFL.
Compared to what
Come
Josh
on,
is making,
man.
he's making $50 a game.
Yeah, by comparison,
Like or Brock Purdy, he's underpaid.
right. But
Oh.
Brock Purdy, even at 800,000, you could do a lot of great things with that money and live very, very well. Right? If we were making, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, take it out of the realm of a comparison to the other guys. That's still a tremendous
Yeah,
amount
but
of money. to do
you
whatever
have to have that
Look,
discipline and not spend like you've got 15 million.
for
You're making
me,
800.
for me, the issue, when you're talking about destination points and you're talking about these guys, number one, who you're playing for and the team that you're on, do you fit? I mean, for me, Bean is looking for the guys that fit where they have holes, guys that are fit the personality of this team. Amari Cooper, as crazy as it sounds, his personality fits right into what they do. They're humble and they're hungry. You bring in a guy like Devontae Adams, I honestly feel that Bean was in the hunt as a distraction to keep everybody away from Amari Cooper. And then boom, as soon as Adams got smuggled up by the Jets, boy, what a great move that was. All of a sudden, he's right there. He picked up Cooper less than 24 hours later. He fits the system.
He
There's
does.
a couple different people that we got to get in here. And that I love the fact that people around the country are talking about the Buffalo Bills. I love being relevant in the NFL.
Kevin, who are the people, the names that you were saying today that you're hearing rumored? And I know, like,
I had heard rumors of Cooper Kupp, and I had heard that Trey White was expressing the ability that he's able to go out and seek a trade. So I mean, with the banged up secondary, Trey White would make sense in Buffalo. And the Rams salary.
Except that in terms of his physical, I mean, Trey White's, he's so banged up still. I mean, I'm not sure if we would want him with the level of what his capabilities are currently with the secondary we have. I mean,
but you get the plug and play player though. That's the other upside to it is you've got a guy who knows the system for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you got the question comes down with who's better, he or Elam right now, because neither one of them are going to beat out Rasul Douglas or Beresford, right? I mean, those guys are locked. You got the best corner. You got the number one ranked PFF corner in the league playing for the Buffalo Bills, and you got Rasul Douglas who's in the top 20. I mean, and you got Johnson who's there, who's I think in terms of physicality and run stop, he's one of the toughest guys in the secondary in the NFL. So that secondary for me, the biggest question I think the Bills have is still at safety. And so some of the discussions about safety, bringing guys in at safety, that to me would make a little sense. But look, I think right now the Bills have one main big glaring weakness, and it's the kicking game.
Oh,
right?
Yes,
It's the kicking game.
No, it is.
So,
boy, something that's usually.
But you don't really go out and trade for a kicker.
No,
You
but you might be
don't.
able to pick somebody up.
You don't. However,
You could.
I heard somebody say once in the most recent past about you have these teams that are out of it. And some of their best players are their kickers because they suck every place else. And if you could get you could trade a kicker and pick up a draft pick that you could then utilize to pick up more of a skill player because you can grab a kicker. They're going to be all over the place. Off season, that is. You can bring the guys in from college. You can try these guys out. You can get them to compete through training camp. But right now, they don't need their kickers. We do.
Yeah.
Now,
But if you can pick up a kicker anywhere, why would you trade for one?
well, you can't. They're in season. It's very difficult. In season is very difficult because a lot of these guys are locked up. But in the off season is when you have a lot of these guys moving, and you have a lot of guys from college that are out there trying to show their leg. So that's where, and again, for me right now, I think their biggest challenge is the kicking game. And that, being in Seattle last week, which, by the way, guys, that stadium is freaking awesome. I had the greatest time. It was absolutely awesome.
Will they have field seats in the new Buffalo
Laura.
Stadium? Yeah,
No.
Laura was she was there. She left.
No.
She left a little while ago, but she was on the field seats. I thought that was an interesting concept. I didn't know was something that was happening at certain stadiums.
That is an added. I believe that they added that post configuration to Seattle.
Yeah.
But what the Bills have, which is similar, is they have the field club. So there's a section in the middle of the field that goes, I believe, from the 30 to the 30, and there's a section right there behind the Bills bench that's a field club. So their seats provide access underneath the stadium into a club access. But the front of that club is like a glass fence where you can actually stand for the entirety of the game behind the Bills bench or in that whole area.
Yeah.
Are you
So it's
high up
very-
enough to see over the players, or are you looking at asses all game long?
No. Well, I mean, a guy your height, you'd be looking at shoulders. A guy my height, I'm towering over these guys. I'll be able to see the entirety of the game.
Sitting on my shoulders.
I think the
True.
boy, I thought they did that in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, something similar. I think their concessions are down. Have you been? I haven't
Yeah.
been, so I don't know. Jameson had played there and was telling me that you could go in and it was all glass in their concession area. Is that a club? I don't know what that is.
Well, New England has something similar to that, but it's in the end zone. Dallas has the suites in the bunker.
Yeah.
They're like a dugout suite. That could probably
Mercedes has the same thing, and SoFi has the same thing, and so a lot of that, what it does is it's just trying to give you the experience, to try to give you a different perspective and experience. It's not necessarily a great view of the game,
Right.
from Laura's seat, because we actually saw Laura in the pregame for the on-field warm-ups, and when the game is at the other end of the field, you can't see anything.
You heard you were closer to the 50 than she was. And you were on the 10.
She was right there. It was unbelievable. She's like, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at the 10." Next thing I know, she's saying hello.
Yeah.
And they were right there with Jen and I.
That's very funny. How was the trip to
And you
Napa?
called for security.
No, we did not call for security. Oh my gosh, well, Napa is great, man. I mean, if anybody enjoys wine and food and being in a beautiful just landscape, Napa Valley has that. It truly is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. The mountains, the vines, the wine, the food, absolutely stunning. It was great. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I'd love to get out there to see Napa
Oh.
Valley. I mean, it just sounds like a great trip. And then up to Seattle. I did see a winemaker on the field before the game with Tom Brady, I think.
Who was that, Drew Bledsoe?
That was Drew Bledsoe, a winemaker himself now, right? He's out
He
there.
is.
It's so funny because Bledsoe looks like he's aged, and yeah, we all do. And Brady looks like he hasn't. He's gotten younger in some way.
Gee, it's amazing what Vito Quintella can do for you.
Oh, he did. He came in to see him. I can't deny that, Greg. It certainly looks like when you look back at old pictures, there's something that was going on there for sure.
Are you going down to Penn State this weekend?
Oh yeah.
Penn State, Ohio State, big game.
Yeah, Penn State, Ohio State.
Saturday.
In fact, Will's professor that does sports marketing has asked me to come into the class and kind of give him the perspective as to what it's like to be part of sports marketing in the NFL.
So, are you going to do that this before?
this
Yeah.
Friday, Will's got class at 1:15, so I'll be down there I'm going to go back to class, back to school, Bill.
Can we get video for the pod?
No, I don't think so.
I think there probably will be video somewhere. But now, if that were me, I would have no discussion with my son that I was showing up in the class.
Well, the professor had communicated through Will and got my contact info, and then
the bad
announced
part
it.
would be,
He
the bad
announced
part would be is if he'd skipped.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Will told me the professor had asked me to come in, and I was like, sure, I'm coming in for the Ohio State game and the Washington game. And he sent me a text back. The professor was like, well, how about Ohio State? I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, man, I would think there'd be somebody more important than me to be back on campus to talk on the Ohio State game. And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. He goes, because LeVon Arrington is coming in for the Washington game. And so it'd be great if you could come in for the Ohio State game. And I'm like, I get Ohio State and he gets Washington? I'm like,
Pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
good. That is pretty good.
Pretty cool.
Will you mention any of your interceptions at Alfred in this speech?
Probably
I mean,
not.
Penn State's defense is great, but
Probably not.
back in my day, old number 2 here took care of business.
I think
I will definitely reference the fact of having dreams and aspirations to get to the NFL, and I thought it'd be on the field. But there's more than one way. There's more than one path to be involved in the NFL.
Look
Sometimes
at
you can be an elite level football player at any level and still not make it to the NFL.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
I mean, that may be. I always say how good you have to be to suck at the NFL, right?
Yeah,
Just to
right.
get an opportunity. Greg, is that game had a? I mean, I think it caught some people by surprise as to how good the Bills looked in that game.
Yeah, I mean, when you break the game down, you look at the game again, there's 3 plays that can have a huge impact on the outcome of the game. And the Bills, there are 3 plays with the Bills that really impacted the game. The Amari Cooper interception, that could have been a huge impact because it could have been. They went down and then they got 3. That
Right.
could have just completely changed the whole part of that game there. The other one is when Josh fumbled it, right? He's running, he comes from behind, he fumbles it, fumbles forward, they get the first down.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of different things that went the Bills' way. Being in the stadium, the one thing that I take away from being in the stadium and with the Bills Mafia is that when the Bills were on defense and it got so loud that you saw Geno Smith like going to hand motions, I thought that was one of the coolest, most surreal experiences I've ever had. And it was just so loud. It was so great.
The Amari Cooper trade, certainly one that we were all so happy it happened, right? But the person that seems to have benefited the most on the team to me is Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
I mean, Keon, and boy, he's getting better and better and better. That one-armed catch with a guy draped, I mean, they were interlocked as he grabs that, wrestles it away, and then his blocking on plays.
And again, this is where Bean and McDermott have a plan and they have a philosophy. Is you bring a guy in like Cooper, who is known in the NFL as one of the best, most precise route runners in the NFL, who's also humble and hungry. And then you put him into this raw, talented, kind of unorthodox, I'm not sure how disciplined he is yet. His route running for the first part of the year was not particularly disciplined. And then you put him in practice with this guy who was very disciplined and humble and an extremely hard worker. And you begin to see it's not just what Cooper's doing on the field, it's what these other guys, particularly a guy like Coleman, what a great mentor to have than Amari Cooper. And that dividend is worth the $800,000 we're paying Amari Cooper, because I loved it when Coleman caught the ball and then he tapped the guy on the head.
Yes.
We were dying. We thought he was going to get a penalty for it.
Yeah, like taunting. That's
Taunting,
I mean, boy, I'll tell you what, if they saw it, I think he would have.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. Right now the defense is playing well. Babbage and McDermott are having, some great schemes. Really, the question becomes, is that when you come up against a team that has a strong run-first mentality, like the Ravens did with Henry, and then the Texans utilize that with their run game and then the short passing game, it kind of took the Bills, put them on their heels. Those are the games, and those are the teams. When you get to the playoffs, that's what those teams do and do well. Most of them, anyways. And gearing up for that, that's what they got to do. I love, the Bills' defensive line is going to start to get healthy here. Vaughn's going to be back. I think Vaughn's absence in those first two games was more important. The two games that we lost was more impactful than people would like to think. And him being back here now against Tua, Tua's back.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? I feel comfortable because we know them as well. I believe Josh is 12-2 against the Dolphins in his career. He's got 2 losses against them. 3 of the 12 wins were by 3 points. The remaining 9 were for greater than 6 points, I believe. And so, this is a team that the Bills seem to have the number on, just like the Patriots had our number for many years under Brady. I just hope the Bills can maintain that intensity at home, and they can wrap this one up, because then they got to go to Indy, and Indy's is a friggin' hot mess right now.
Yeah, Indy is a hot mess right now. Anthony Richard, we're getting taking himself out of the game because he's exhausted.
He got benched.
Are you kidding me?
I know. I hear you. I hear you. I feel like, in a way, I wonder if it was. I mean, they're not protecting him. I feel like he needs to develop a little bit more. He's the most inaccurate quarterback in the NFL right now, this season, and I think you go back over a number of seasons, and he's the most inaccurate quarterback in the NFL at the time. Josh had accuracy problems when he first came in. I don't think this guy's washed up.
Inaccurate, protected or not, have you ever in the history of watching football
Never
seen a guy be like,
no,
you know what, I need a quick blow?
But I feel like, in a way, it was
Stephon
almost
Diggs would do it.
self-preservation.
Other than Vontae Davis, but that was at halftime.
I feel like that's a sports psychologist that needs to get in there and fix that, and to some degree. I really do. Because I go, you're a pretty conditioned athlete. You've played a lot of these games throughout your life. There's no way.
Look, man.
Unless you got hurt, something's happening.
And the next play was a handoff.
Yeah, I know. And you
Look,
put it, 109-year-old guy.
We've all played competitive sports, and we all know people that were extremely talented. And we all know people who weren't as talented that worked hard, that did a hell of a lot better than the guys that were talented that did work hard.
Yes.
And that is a personality quality of his. I don't know if you can teach someone to be tough. I think you're tough or you're not. I don't know too many people that were soft growing up that all of a sudden then became tough. That may happen. But he's almost a man now. He's a 22, 23-year-old person. That's who he is as a person. When things get tough, when things get tough, who do you want next to you in your foxhole? I want somebody that's going to step up and be tough, who's going to do what you need to do to survive and to win. Not somebody that's going to roll over and say, I need to take a nap.
It'd be like one of your lawyers in the middle of closing arguments, tagging in the other lawyer and be like, hey, finish this off for me.
What's that ad now where they have the backup quarterback? They tap the guys trying to back into the driveway with the trailer. Oh, give me another chance. Dad's going to get it. Hey, you know what? You've taken us this far. We're bringing in Case Keenum. And I was like, yeah, that would be so funny if that happened.
Dude, look, I try to break things down in the most simplistic form. If I've got a buddy and I want to do something, and that buddy's like, yeah, I'll go do it. And then we get there, and he's like, oh, dude, I'm going to go to the car and take a nap. Am I ever going to ask that buddy to come out and do that with me again? Hell
Absolutely. No.
To be fair, I was drinking pretty heavily that night, guys. I just needed 10 minutes.
But so now he's got a whole team of people that are going to question him. They're going to question his work ethic. They're going to question his motives. They're going to question his determination. They're going to question everything about him. He has lost all credibility on that team at this juncture. And am I going to do the extra work? Am I going to put in the extra effort when I know that the guy who's supposed to be leading the team isn't? No way, man. Get me out of there.
Yeah, I wonder if he's actually torpedoed his career a bit. Maybe not torpedoed it. Maybe that's too harsh a term, but I feel like he certainly set himself back.
Everybody gets a second chance, but you got to come out and
I know,
you got to come out swinging.
That's what I'm saying. Is like you set yourself back. I could see it. Like I think the guy's got talent, and I think he could still be successful in the NFL. But this was a terrible look, and he is not an accurate guy right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to come back stronger, tougher, and harder and prove to that team that he is the first person in the locker room, the first person in videos, the first person in the weight room, and he's the last person to leave. And I don't know what his personality, I don't know if he was that before this. Hearing what I'm hearing, I would guess he was not. Josh Allen is the exact opposite.
Well, I mean, look, I was saying before you came on, and I thought Kevin made a good point. Like, the Bills Mafia and the Allen era versus the lean years. I feel like we've got more bandwagon fans, even around the media, or even around the media with people like going, yeah, it's Buffalo. Hey, Josh Allen. It just makes me laugh. But, and this was supposed to be a down year, a dip. I'm not going to say it was out. I think they still would win the AFC East, get to the playoffs, but it was supposed to be a dip. And I feel like now that expectation has been raised, right? I feel like now we feel like, I don't know about you, Greg, but I think they could win the next 4 games, and there are some challenging ones in there.
Yeah, and at this point in the season, it's all about who's healthier, right? It's all about the matchup of the week, because injuries, one of the biggest impacts on a game is who's playing. Like, what's the matchup? What's on the field matchup? Who are the players? Because if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, that team is very different. That matchup, that game is very different. If and so those are the things at this point in time. It's about stacking wins. I love the phrase stack wins. It's about staying healthy. And the one thing about Josh, as he's done well, I think this season so far, is he has not put himself in the position where he could then potentially get hurt. He exposed himself a little bit on the scramble down out in Seattle. And he got the ball jammed out, and his leg kind of bent the wrong way. Those things, man, they send me going crazy. But for the Bills right now, it's 1 week at a time, and it's staying healthy. You got the line. Milano is still out. Benford is playing well. Williams is playing well. And so it's a matter of getting these guys on defense healthy, staying healthy. And the Bills could stack some wins here. Look, we got the Dolphins at home. It's a very winnable game. We're going to be favored. We are favored. We then have Indy on the road, which we will probably be favored at that. We then come back and we've got Kansas City at home. We will probably be favored at that with them being here. We then have a bye, and then we have San Francisco at home. And so the way the schedule stacks through November going into December, the Bills could really set themselves apart from everybody else, which would be a huge thing, because they don't have the tiebreaker against the Ravens, and they don't have the tiebreaker against the Texans right now. We do have a head-to-head against the Chiefs. You win that game, you get the tiebreaker of the Chiefs. That could be huge for them. We want to get that home field advantage. You definitely want that home field advantage, which is the 2nd and 3rd seed, because the 1 seed is the only one that gets to bye the first round.
Did they ever come out and say what Vaughn was suspended for? Did I miss that?
I don't believe there was an official statement on it. It was just
conduct policy, right?
Yeah, but it was last year's. It was last year's bye week.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So one of the attractions of Buffalo to bring in some of these free agents is that you don't have these crazy attractions or nuisances that these guys can get in trouble with, except when they go back home during bye.
That is true. That's true. That is true.
Because they're too busy shoveling freaking snow in November, December to get the hell to practice.
That's all right. One last question for you, Greg. The penalties last week. I mean, there were a lot. Was it the officiating crew just calling every ticky-tacky thing and not letting the guys play? Or is it a lack of discipline on the Bills? I mean, despite the penalties, despite the interception, which I don't believe was Josh's fault, by the way, I think that, they were pretty resilient.
Yeah, when you have weather like that and your footing is off and you're trying to make certain things happen, you're going to do that. And the holding calls that they're calling more now than ever, it's not necessarily grabbing the jersey for the offensive lineman. It's where is your arm placement. So if the guy crosses, sorry about that, guys. The dogs are going crazy. When a guy crosses their face, and then the offensive lineman's arm crosses the person's chest, they're going to call holding that every time. Every time they're going to call holding on that. And that's what they're doing. And that call has been probably the most prominent call on our offensive line this year.
Seems like it's just an impossible task. You can't, you know what I mean? You're getting hit. I don't know. But I understand it, and it comes down to discipline. But I feel like these guys have to learn new rules all the time. Like, everything's changing. It seems very difficult.
It's a pretty, look, when you're there, there's all the different techniques they have on the defensive side to try to get that space, to try to get that angle. And the referees try not to make the call unless it's going to impact the outcome of the play. But Miss Mayhem here, huh?
No, she just walked by. She just smiled.
When it does impact the play, they're going to make that call. And what's happening is at that point of contact, it's making an impact on the outcome of the play, so they're making the calls. Do I think it's oversaturated? I do.
Yeah, I do too.
At times. The calls that are driving me crazy, they called offensive pass interference. It's like, come on, what is that?
Right, I know.
I mean, you got all the holding.
Was it Coleman who got that call?
Coleman did, yeah. And that's when he said, "Put it up high," and I'm just going to go up and just snag it, which was great.
Well, he that kid, you got to love that guy. The personality, everything, it's perfect, and he seems to be fitting in nicely. And even blocking schemes. I mean, the guy looks pretty good.
And again, the thing, the pregame stuff that we did, I enjoy because you get to see what these guys doing on warm up.
Yeah.
Cooper's out there. He's running these precision foot speed routes, and then Coleman's right behind him, imitating them. And then after they left, a lot of receivers left, went to different areas of the field, and Coleman went into the end zone, and all he did was throw that high pass, just like he caught the touchdown on. And he high pointed everything, and everything was up top. And so when that play came, we pointed out he probably caught 10 or 15 of those balls in warm-ups. And what he said to Josh was get it high, because he gets his separation not on his pass route running at this point in time in his career because of his foot speed. He truly gets his separation because he can elevate so quickly, and he's got such a great extension. He can high point the ball. Well, these cornerbacks that are my height can't elevate to that height.
Right.
And that's what it's really exciting, is being in that red zone area and having him make such a difference there. You're right, Bill. There are so many bandwagoners right now, but you know what? The Bills Mafia has a big enough van and bandwagon to jump on. I welcome anybody that wants
to jump on the bandwagon.
Even those Patriots fans that have nothing to cheer for, you can come join us and join in the cheering.
They did beat the Jets. They beat the Jets.
I was cheering for them for that game.
Well, I'll ask you: is that the worst acquisition in the NFL? I thought it was Deshaun Watson. Prior to that, I'm starting to think that it's Aaron Rodgers, and the reason I say that is because they're trying. He's so in control of that team. They're trying to put everything around him with Deshaun. They thought they had an offense that worked. They were just missing this piece. And in New York, I feel like they tried this, and now they're trying every other thing to make him happy. And I go, boy, this may be the worst acquisition in the NFL, potentially. Certainly seems to be headed that way.
Well, I mean, look, I think the Jets scenario is a perfect example of how a bad owner makes bad decisions, and that's why you stink.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was in a position prior to firing Saleh where if they would have beat the Bills, they would have been in first place.
Yeah.
He blew it.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and brings in Devontae Adams after they lose.
I know. And that didn't help.
Another catastrophic error. You just swallowed $13 million on your cap and you're not getting anything. And then now you got dissension. Look, teams win when you're a team. Individuals do not win team sports. Teams win team sports. And the Jets right now have accumulated a bunch of players as opposed to building a team. What I believe McDermott and what I think Bean have done is they've assembled a team. And Josh Allen is the consummate leader to be that team leader, and that's what they're doing. And that's why the Bills are having the success they're having when they didn't think they were going to have it.
I agree. I think that's great. Great note to go out on, Greg. That is very good. And I assume you'll be up there cheering them on in person.
Luke's got his last football game, and he's coming off an injury. So if Luke is going to be playing on, they're playing Fisher on Sunday. So if he's healthy enough to be playing, I'll be down there cheering my boy on.
All right.
If he's not going to be playing, then I will be in Highmark Stadium, losing my voice again.
Well, if you need a guy to keep your seat warm for you in Buffalo, I might need to experience the game in the tailgate to jump on that bandwagon, Greg.
Well, we will. If one of these games where I'm going, Kev, as long as you don't wear any New England gear, we can make that happen.
It's only sneakers because that's all I got.
All right. Well, Greg, thank you for joining us. And from the man cave, I love it. We got to see it. Saw the dogs walking around. Saw, getting a little peek into inside the life.
Jen's here. The dogs are here, man. It's complete Notre Mayhem.
I want to get the dryer fixed. Sounds
Go
like it squeaked a little bit there, Greg.
The dryer fix. That's not what.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's the sex
we're doing a renovation right now, and so the house is completely torn apart upstairs. So it's mayhem. It's utter mayhem.
Yeah.
But once that's done, then we'll get back to having some man cave football game.
Yes, man cave football. Love it. All right, Greg. Well, thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Go Bills.
Go Bills. See you later. There you go. It's Greg Connors. Very good. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people jumping on that bandwagon. I coming over from New England.
Completely disagree that Buffalo's a destination. It's not.
Well, I think it's a destination if you want to win a Super Bowl. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but when have they won a Super Bowl? You're getting a shot.
I think
Would you rather be traded if you were an NFL player?
Yeah.
Looking to win your first Super Bowl,
mm-hmm.
and they're presenting these two options to you. We can trade you to Kansas City,
mm-hmm.
or we can trade you to Buffalo.
Well, I think
which one are you picking?
But I mean, when you look at the city-wise, Kansas City, although they probably do have more gambling and stuff, but they're a little bit
bigger city, bigger nightlife.
Yeah, I think you go there because of the history of Super Bowls and modern, like now. But I'm not. I don't know that I can buy your argument fully on.
And I'll be honest with you, I could be way wrong in this, but I would say a majority of players. Yeah, winning a Super Bowl is up there, but it's not my top or my second or my third qualifying factor for picking a team. Who's going to give me the most money?
I do wonder if you had an opportunity to go to Vegas and play for the Raiders or come and play with Allen. I wonder if you would take Allen and avoid the dysfunction that seems to be prevalent in Vegas at the moment.
It depends. Am I going to get? Am I getting 10 million more to play in Vegas than I am in Buffalo? I might.
Yeah. But
look at my future and say, hey, you know what? That 10 million is worth it.
It could be. I mean, you're right.
Again, I know some people, the championship is a motivating factor,
mm-hmm.
but it's not, I think, the biggest motivating factor anymore in sports.
It's a great debate, to be honest with you. It's a great debate because you're right. The money will last. But then at some point, depending on how much the player's making, what is another 10 million versus possibility of endorsements and things, revenue that
which you're going to get a bigger endorsement option in a New York or a Las Vegas than you will. What are you endorsing in Buffalo?
Well, Josh is, and if you win a Super Bowl, there's potential. There's potential.
Yeah, but there hasn't been that many campaign ads for Buffalo.
No, they're only Josh.
Right.
Yeah, only Josh.
There's local stuff. I mean, local stuff.
Yeah, local stuff, and you'll get it, and you can get that anywhere.
You can get that anywhere.
Right. But the other, I don't know. It's a good debate, Kevin. I like the way your head's working over there, even though I may not fully buy it yet. To think about this.
Meditate on it.
For Kevin Muir, for Greg Connors, for Laura. We went inside the mind of Laura earlier. I'm Bill Moran. Have a great weekend. Go Buffalo!
In the hotel, didn't know what to do. I turned the TV on and wrote a letter to you. The news was talking about a dragnet up on the interstate. See, they were looking for a Cadillac with Tennessee plates.